Now this is 8.5, the coordinate plane, part 2. We were going to be reflecting a point in the coordinate plane. To reflect a point in the x-axis is the one that goes side to side, use the same x-coordinate and take the opposite of y. So reflect an x, keep the x. This will flip it like a calendar. If you think about a calendar that hangs on the wall, you have the picture on top and the dates on the bottom. To put it to the next month, you take it and you flip it so it goes vertically. So you take it like this, and then you flip it vertically. Then, to reflect in the y-axis, you keep the y in opposite x. This flips like a book. So we have it here, then you flip it over like a book. Or here, flip it over like a book. Whichever one you are reflecting, that is going to act as the mirror. So we're going to reflect the points in the x-axis. So if I have my points A, B, C, I'm going to indicate that I have a reflection with this little apostrophe. And this is called a prime. So I have A prime. And if I reflect in the x, I keep the x. So from point A, keeping the x, -1 is still -1. And opposite y, opposite of 3 is -3. So A prime is -1, -3. For B, keep the x the same and opposite y. So I have 2, 1. And to make C prime, I keep the x and opposite y. Now for reflecting in the y-axis, I have the same points, I'm just reflecting them a different way. So reflecting in the y means keep the y. So 3 and 3 stays the same. Then -1, I do the opposite, so I have +1. B prime is -1, stays the same, and x changes to -2. C, keep the y and change the x. Then you can see I plotted those at 1, 3, -2, -1, and 3, 2. You can see here that it reflects like a book, side to side. Reflecting in the y means the y-axis is my line, my mirror, my reflection line. Now it is possible to have reflections in both the y and the x. To do that, you have to do whichever order it tells you, y, then x. So my same points, I have A, B, and C. I'm going to reflect in the y. So here I'm reflecting in the y, so I keep the y. Y stays the same. X changes to opposite. That's like a pit stop. That would be this point up here. It's like a pit stop in the middle. Now to get my final A prime, I need to reflect it now in the x. So I take my pit stop, my first reflection, and reflect that in the x. So I reflect an x and keep the x. So my 1 stayed the same. Then I take opposite y, and my point for A prime, reflected in the y, then the x, is down here at A prime. Same thing for B. Reflect in the y, so keep the y, and then reflect in the x and keep your x. And B prime goes from here to here. Reflecting point C, we are going to keep the y and then keep the x. So my point is 3, -2. So I have 3, -2. So C went from up here to down here.